What up, Panther Nation, Pantherologists? Welcome to yet another edition of Lunch Break with myself. Just gonna be talking about some camp updates. Love to see that Thomas Davis is there. Stuff like that. Some Carolina Panther news. Gonna be talking about guys who seem to be doing well in camp, who aren't seem to be doing well in camp. The NFL kid's already here saying, yo, what's up? Appreciate you joining. I commented, make sure you pound the thumbs up button like it owes you money. All right. Doesn't cost any money to do it, but it takes just a second to do so. How's Bryce Young's doing in camp? CJ Stroud's lighting up. Michael, I responded. I will be talking about camp today. No worries. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream, and make sure you pound that like button. That's it. That's the simple, most easiest thing you can do. If you come in here and you just come in here and join, you like the stream, that's it. Did you see the dates for training camp at FanFest dates? I did. We're basically 40 days, almost 40 days out before camp. So it looks like things are looking up for the most part, but other than that, let's get right into it. All right. So, as the Carolina Panthers early offseason workout schedule, I think starting to come to a close, and there's there's a bunch of several news is out there, a couple headlines and stuff around the team and stuff. And the recent events have necessitated a period of reflection assessment for the Panthers as they prepare to go to training camp. And the team is currently being closely watched for signs of progress with significant elements that they've gained with attention and all that. And that's including Dante Jackson discussing the change of the atmosphere that we've seen, Thomas Davis Jr. sharing a thought-provoking message, which we'll get into. I'm hoping I find that video of that message. And then, Frank Reich's got high expectations, which we'll definitely go into his interview. Dante Jackson's interview, we'll watch him. Bryce Young's interview, we'll watch him. But I kind of just want to give some feedback based off on, what Dante Jackson has said about, the change and stuff like that. Because as of right now, the atmosphere of the Carolina Panthers camp has changed since Matt Rule's gone, thank God. And it's obviously because of Frank Reich's leadership. And this team seems more focused, seems more determined. The energy is high. And I just hope that this translates into a very successful 2023 season. Now, there are challenges that lie ahead for Dante Jackson just because of the fact of his injury, but the transformation with the whole team dynamic. And we'll get into his interview, but, for him to be working under 3 different head coaches since joining the Panthers, and Jackson's recognition of the change, it carries, I think, considerable weight for our team. And as training camp approaches, I think Jackson is going to aim to make a successful return from that Achilles tear, which I'm hoping so. And I kind of talked about that yesterday, but yeah, I think that seeing and hearing from him how he feels about the changes is awesome. So let's move on to I'm looking at my notes here that I wanted to talk about. Let's see what we got here. Get into chat real quick. Sports Talk with Jadea says, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining the live stream. Feel like the team actually seems like they want to be there. Yeah, it's a nice transition, man. It's a nice transition. It's just been a pleasant surprise. Let's go ahead and talk about Thomas Davis real quick coming into camp and delivering a beautiful message. And before I go show that clip real quick, I just want to go in and say that during the final day of the Carolina Panthers mandatory minicamp and having Thomas Davis make an appearance, he really provided some valuable insight. From my understanding, he has a lot of motivational words to the current team, especially under this new. Sorry, I thought someone was here. Under some new leadership that we have with this coaching staff, and of course with Frank Wright coming in and stuff. So, after practice, Davis came over and said a powerful message, really just stressing the importance of capitalizing on the hard work that they put in during, this preparation period, and then urging them not to really mess up the opportunity, before training camp. And so let me see if I can pull up that clip real quick because I had it up earlier. Thomas Davis Sr. Let's see if I can find that clip real quick. I might be able to find it. Wonder if there's a video of it. I'm trying to find. I had it up earlier, but then it just went away. I wonder if it's on YouTube. Let me try this. Let's see if there's something on. Let me go into here. Sorry, guys. I had the video pulled up and then I lost it. Minicamp. Maybe it's on Twitter. I guarantee it is. Nope. All right. Well, either way, it is what it is. Maybe it's on Twitter. Let's see if I can find it on there. I'm sure I can. I have the other ones pulled up from the press conferences, though, so I'm sure I can find that. I just wanted to hear his speech again because it was pretty good. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. That's the only problem. It was a good speech, too, and I had it. That sucks because I had it pulled up. Oh, well. Anyways, let's move on. It is what it is. Let's get into the next topic here. But it was just nice to have him come in there and give a having that seniority and come in and show his intensity, show what he give his what he's been throughout his career with the Panthers, and he's a great resource to have on the field. I think, especially with the fact that this team is a young team for the most part, heading into the 2023 season. And just his presence and perspective, I think, just served a powerful reminder of the dedication and commitment, required for success in this sport. So right now, the atmosphere surrounding the Carolina Panthers has definitely has taken an optimistic tone, right, and a welcome change from obviously previous seasons. And the previous regimen had left didn't leave much for us to be desired. And the new sense of unity and direction has been just a breath of fresh air. And, watching and listening to these guys and talk and just everything just seems, and I know we're in the off season, so everything should be positive right now. We should have a positive outlook. That's something is playing. Sorry about that. Don't know what that was about, but okay. But anyways, while I was talking, freaking, that's ridiculous. I was just sitting there ranting. Next thing you know, I guess an ad popped up or something. Oh well. But anyways, no, it's just y'all understand what I'm getting at here. So but the expectations are now higher though for us, right? I mean, Frank Wright said it best too. he's got positive energy going in with the organization, but he also understands the importance of maintaining a ground perspective to prepare for that week 1 matchup, obviously against the Falcons. And, gone are we got to think that the current approach emphasizes a careful planning and attention to detail, with the ultimate goal of us ensuring that this team's success, both in the upcoming season and in the long term, the foundations are in place for the Carolina Panthers, I think, to experience a brighter future under Reich's guidance and a newfound spirit of unity and professionalism. So having a veteran come in and do that, and then now everything that we've done this offseason and Frank Reich coming in and it's just it's like I said, it's a breath of fresh air. It's good to see this. And then Bryce Young reflects on, his journey. It was nice to hear him talk. And like I said, we're going to go into these clips here in a minute. But I loved his composure and his focus in these past couple weeks, but being the number 1 overall pick in the draft, but it just seems like his transition to over here in the team scheme has just been very, very smooth. And he's already seems to be building great relationships with teammates. He's established leadership qualities already, which hasn't gone, unnoticed, and having swiftly ascended to the top quarterback on the depth chart, and, it's just good to see coming through minicamp and all these things. So you got to appreciate the positivity that we have now and appreciate how things are going within our organization and everything that we have done compared to the past couple years. It's just been rough, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into these interview real quick. Let's start with Dante Jackson, talk about his, him going through what he's been going through, obviously with his Achilles injury, and just enjoying how this team is looking now. So let me share my screen. I'm done ranting for a little bit, which I'm sure y'all are happy about. Dang, this is 11 minutes long. Well,
feeling great. About 7 months and some change out. Be 8 months next week. But I'm feeling great. Was back running at like 5.5, 6 months. Feeling strong. Just using all this time that I have up until training camp to just keep getting more and more ready. Diving in the system and diving in, just my rehab.
Your expectation that you'll be ready for the start of camp, or is that still to be determined?
And it's still to be determined, but I feel great. It's all about what the training room said. I've been going with they plan, trusting them.
Listen, Achilles tear is one of probably is just almost as bad as an ACL tear. And if I'm Dante Jackson, I'm taking as much time as possible to rest up, because even if it is that he has to come in after training camp and stuff like that, and he just is working out and just, and not necessarily taking hits or doing too much, I'd rather him not do training camp. I'd rather him be as fresh as possible when the season starts. So I'm just saying, I understand that he's saying he feels good, but if we can keep him out longer with that kind of injury, I'd rather not. I'd rather him be there. And Jadarius, to your thing, I would love that too.
Help me throughout this, and they've been great. So yeah, just whatever they have planned for me, I know I'll be ready to come camp.
What was your reaction when you heard JC kind of went down the screen?
I mean, it'd be like that. That guy's a hard worker. You know what I'm saying? So when it happens like that, you just take it and just knowing he gonna get back right and he'll be back with us for camp.
With all the injuries, there's opportunities for younger guys. What is Mark Milton showing you?
I'm really smart player. Asks a lot of questions. Just eager to learn. That's the best thing when you talk about a young guy. Just being eager to learn from guys. Asks a lot of questions. And he's just been a student, writing down everything, asking a lot of questions, and just getting after it on the practice field, special teams and defense. Really excited to see how Mark play out in camp.
Is he the fastest guy on the team?
No. You're talking to the fastest guy.
I know he was going to say that. Is he the fastest guy on the team?
What are your goals for 2023?
Just do everything I can to help the team win. I feel like we're in a great position. The vibes are immaculate throughout OTAs. You know, guys are just, you know, giving it their all. Guys are fighting. So, you know, my expectations is to go out there and do my job at a very high level and just help my team win as much as I can.
We feel the vibes. I mean, what do you think has led to the change in kind of atmosphere, other than the obvious?
What's the obvious?
I
would say the obvious is just everybody's happy to be back playing football, but I don't know what the obvious is to you. Yeah, I mean, I just think personnel is, you know, we're football players, you know, so I think everybody's just excited and eager just to learn more football and learn different ways and learn, you know, just new coaching staff's ways. And I think everybody's just been happy just to be around each other, get back around the building, get back around football. You know, I was here throughout the whole offseason when nobody was in the building, so I was definitely happy to see everybody back in the building, you know, playing ping pong, you know, joking, talking. So yeah, it's a big part of just, you know, just building that camaraderie. You know, guys just actually want to be around each other, and it's hard when you got a team full of guys during OTAs to get everybody to just want to be around each other, because, you know, the schedule is shorter. You know, guys are doing stuff, you know, outside the building and stuff like that. But this team this year has been different. You know, guys are just wanting to come in even on like off days, or even days we get out early. You know, guys are staying after, just building, you know, sitting in the locker room talking, just, you know, just kind of just building, you know, the stuff that's going to be important come November and December. You know, you get all that right now.
How would you compare and contrast this staff to the previous one?
I mean, it was around this time, it's really hard to tell. You know what I'm saying? You just no really comparisons. You know, around this time, you know, most coaches in the league are very detailed, very just very direct in, you know, what they want done and what they want to see around this time. You know, it's better question, you know, when bullets start flying and guys, you know, actually start, you know, doing different things out there. But I mean, I really don't, you know, really have any, you know, differences, but it's just like, it's a hard time to tell for real.
Observer in the last 2 months, has any player that just sort of jumped out that you weren't expecting to perform out?
I was not expecting to. Definitely expected this guy to show up. I'm ready to go. But Stanley, Thomas Oliver, he's been great. You know, they moving him around a lot in the secondary, letting him see different positions, play this position. But he always been a smart player, a very detailed player, and he's really showing up for the defense in huge ways. This OTAs again with Chin, again with Vaughn, you know, those guys just coming in and just, you know, attacking their role and just been, you know, been great for the group.
Jonathan Cooley's got a really outgoing personality. What's he like in the meeting rooms?
Very outgoing. He's very, you know, he just want to connect with the players. You know, you don't want it to always feel like it's just a high tense moment. You know, he want to make learning fun. He want to make football fun. You know the way it's supposed to be. So that's really his personality. You know what I'm saying? He just want to make sure everybody ain't always, you know, so tight, and, you know, just bringing ease to the room. And you always need a guy like that.
So it's good to hear that he's feeling good. The vibes in the locker room are good. The coaching, he didn't really say much about the coaching staff because he was like, well, you can't really tell right now, which you really can't. But you obviously can tell that a lot of the players are happier and seem to be wanting to be here, obviously. So that's good to hear. So let's move on to Mr. Frank Wright. Let's get O2 on to Mr. Frank Wright.
Charlotte.
Let's go back. Okay, this thing's being retarded. This one's working though. All right, I'm gonna exit out of that one. We're gonna share this one. Let's get over to Mr. Frank Wright.
Still got some work to do, but, you know, we checked all the boxes that we wanted to as far as getting installations in, getting a good look at players. You know, now we have a chance these players have, you know, it's a break, but it's really not a break, right? You got to keep working hard to get in shape. It's a break mentally from the game as far as studying, but physically keep getting better and be ready to go at training camp.
What advice do you give guys as they go off on their own and maybe train with other trainers and do things outside of the program?
Yeah, most guys have their own kind of gurus that they train with. We do try to connect with them, and we give them the program that we want, all of our information, numbers, and ask them, hey, give these to your guys that you work out with. Try to follow this program. I think most guys are pretty good. Most guys know what to do. They've been around the block. Of course, the young guys we try to spend a little bit more time with.
I think late last week or early this week, you guys did the gambling training. What was the feedback that you got from the players and the coaches?
I mean, I think the feedback is good, right? This is, everybody knows the issue and how important it is. So, the NFL was in here to do that full presentation and did a great job with it. So things been so busy. I haven't really followed up with too many players one-on-one, but I know the NFL did a great job with it.
Right. Besides Corbett, are there any guys that you think might start on top of to get to score?
I think it's just Corbett. I actually have a meeting tomorrow with the staff, with the training staff, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to kind of go over that one more time, get the last status on who's going to fall in that category and who isn't.
Coach, since you've been here, what have you seen out of Icky and Mutan? Could they be the bookends?
Yeah, they look good. Icky, Icky's looks strong. Feel like he's had a really good off season. Same with Timo. Both leaders. That's what I've been impressed with. They're both not only really good players, they're both strong leaders on our offense. Really, really two good anchors.
I asked you yesterday what boxes had Bryce checked. What boxes hasn't he checked?
We don't have pads on. We're not competing at the highest level. So, right, that's not just Bryce. That's our whole team. But obviously for the rookies, and you always find out, I think I've said to you guys before, you see this happen. You get to OTAs and it's great. You get a good look at people, but you really don't know until you put the pads on. So looking forward to that.
Frank, it's obviously been very chaotic since you've been here. What's the next month look like for you? And how much are you looking forward to kind of taking a break, but also planning that for August?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the break. Really, I always take a little bit with me. I have 2 or 3 projects that you want to do and get accomplished. So, keep it kind of light and use the advantage of the break, but really get a chance we get cut-ups of everything that we've done. So to kind of go back and methodically go through those, at my own pace and kind of making notes and really preparing, right? So we come in and install systems and we're using all the coaches, we're using our tape from previous teams. So now even though this isn't game, we get stuff that we can teach tapes from what we do here. That's the advantage. So now we can go back and make those cut-ups, really learn so we can teach off of that.
Coach, are the French players, has Cameron Peoples made the most of his reps that he did?
Yeah, he has. I think he's a person, you got to get the pads on, big, strong guy, want to see him with the pads on, kind of hand that ball off to him and see if he can't do some damage. So looking forward to that.
Frank, what was your message as you kind of said goodbye to these guys for 6 weeks? And was there kind of a big picture gist to it?
Oh, what's interesting, Tom, I don't know if you guys saw Thomas Davis on the sideline out there. So, I just popped over. I said, hey, can you say a few words to us as a team, because we're heading out. And so I didn't have to say anything. He did all the work, and basically his message was, hey, you've put in a lot of work this offseason. Don't let an ounce of it go to waste. Continue the work through the next 6 weeks and come back ready to go.
Frank, is adding weight and strength something you guys have asked Bryce to do since drafting him? You guys has made these strides in that?
Yeah, great question. We ask every player to improve himself physically, right? I don't want to make a bigger deal about that.
He was asking Bryce Young if he's going to put any
size. That's a challenge to every player. How can you get better physically? This is a physical game. It's the best of the best. There are no exceptions to that at every position. You have to challenge yourself to make your body stronger and faster.
Who surprised you during OTAs and mandatory camp more than anybody else?
Great question. I probably don't want to use the surprise word too much in that with what I said before about I got to really wait till we see the pads on. I just think I think a lot of guys have.
It's game.
That last question that guy asked him though was, That last guy asked him, do you think Bryce is going to put any weight on for the next 6 months or do any physical activity in the next 6 months? Like basically, like what I've been saying is since we have gotten Bryce Young is that he does need to put on some size, not necessarily that he's going to get taller. He just needs to put some weight on and muscle, not like fat, but muscle. So that's basically what that last reporter was asking. So let's move on. Let's go on to Bryce Young.
To describe you yesterday, did you hear what he told me?
I did hear.
Okay. Do you want me to repeat? Because I want to know your reaction. He said that you're humble, but you know that you're the shit. So is that an accurate description of you?
I personally, I don't know if I can view how I'm perceived. Brian, that's Brian was super cool to work with. Him allowing me and welcome me here. Being a leader, being a veteran coming in and showing me the love that he has, and that's really been from everyone on the team in the locker room. I'm really grateful just to be embraced like I have. I'm super grateful to be a part of this team. I'm learning a lot every day. I'm trying to do everything I can to help the team. For me, that's really what I'm focused on.
Do you think that there's a quiet confidence about you that people may not see in the outside looking in?
I don't really know how other people necessarily perceive me or what people may think. For me, I think confidence is something you earn, and I show up every day. I think right now is when, as a team, as a group, we try to earn that confidence. We earn that trust in one another. Because you need that for the season. So I think that's something that we're still building on. I'm building on. I think that those are a big part of OTA is going to be a big part of training camp to establish that trust, that confidence that we have in one another, and that's a process.
Marcos
So I feel
Cash,
like
thanks for
for
joining
me,
the
I try
live
to
stream,
attack that
brother.
every day. Do things, us as a unit, me individually, try to instill trust and confidence in one another. So I think that's a big goal for us.
Bryce, you seem really comfortable right now. Is there a particular moment since you've gotten here where you feel like, oh, I'm locked in now? Anything that's happened or any relationship you've built?
I think for me the mentality's been the same. For me, I want to again, there's a lot I want to continue to improve on. That's I want to do everything I can to help the team. But I think just being embraced by the locker room, that means a lot to me. There's a lot of guys here that have had a lot of success, played a lot of snaps at NFL football, and them, welcoming me, who's never played a snap before, trying to prove himself and trying to do everything he can to help the team. Them embracing me and all the rookies, all the free agents, all the guys that are new here. It's a new group, but it doesn't feel like it in the locker room. It doesn't feel like it in the huddle. I think we've just all grown more comfortable with one another. There's still a lot of stuff we want to iron out, stuff we want to improve on and get better at. But I think we've just been able to lean on each other for that.
You mentioned minicamp and OTAs being a time to build everybody up. Does the bring you down part kind of build you down? Does that happen in Spartanburg a little bit? Is that the next step of really kind of chipping away at some things?
Well, I haven't been yet, so I guess we'll see. I think from what I've been able to observe is, we rely on each other and lean each other to pick each other up, and I think it's great because we all have a group in a locker room that holds each other. That we hold ourselves accountable. If when we mess up or we don't do things the right way, I think it's great to see we're the first people to be hard on ourselves, to hold ourselves accountable. We're not just if things don't go well, it's not just whatever is coach going to get on me. How is someone going to yell? We're the first to to react to try to want to be better. So I think it's great to be able to be in a locker room to where first and foremost we hold ourselves accountable. We look in the mirror first, and then I think because of that, us all kind of having that mentality, we can lean on each other to pick each other up. We can see someone and we know that they care enough to when something happens, that they're upset or they're mad themselves. We know that, so we don't have to try to. I don't feel like we have to supplement it. We have to try to manufacture. And we have that drive within, which is a great locker room to be a part of. So for us, I feel like as a team, we just lean on each other to pick each other up and try to move towards that collective goal.
Right. With that said, this phase is sort of kind of like learning how to practice for training camp. With that said, what's your outlook towards mistakes from a learning standpoint?
Yeah, mistakes are going to happen, but that doesn't mean we have to be, satisfied with it. We understand, it's a tough game. on offense, we're going up against a great defense every day. Vice versa, we try to challenge ourselves. We understand the competition that happens. So we understand that mistakes are going to be made, but, we don't get complacent in that. When those happen, we try to address them. We try to get better at them. Just because we know it's going to happen doesn't mean that, we can't have urgency about it. I think, like you said, mistakes are going to come, and, definitely hasn't been a perfect OTAs for anyone, for any unit, for any individual. But we understand that that's going to be the case. But, again, at the same time, it's on us to hold ourselves accountable. The coaches do a great job of holding us accountable, us going back, watching the tape, learning about it, talking about it. And then, we try to do what we can to avoid those mistakes moving forward.
Do you
have kind of a personal timeline or schedule?
When you had the pass batted down, it dropped your head like you were talking to yourself. So what were you thinking or saying?
Incomplete pass. Again, another one of those mistakes that we all have. As the goal is, the red zone to score. Every pass you want to be completed. I'm aware that's not going to happen, but again,
If you want to watch more of the interviews, it's on the Carolina Panthers.com, so you can go watch those press conferences if you want to watch the Frank Wright and Dante Jackson and Bryce Young interviews. That reporter lastly was asking about the batted passes, but Bryce already said it. We're going to make mistakes. You just got to learn from them. That's going to happen. We saw it last year. We saw more batted passes last year than I've ever seen in a football game. In one football game, and I can't remember which one it was, but Baker got batted down like multiple times, and I was just like, I've never seen it. So, it was rough. It's rough to see, but if you can, change those mistakes, like he's saying, and learn from them, then there's ways to get around that. So. A little bit more of the minicamp news, though. It seems like Terrace Marshall Jr. is one of the players that is making it almost kind of like getting his swagger back, I guess you could say, which is great to see. Apparently, he hasn't missed a catch coming in practice, and he's actually shown some work ethic when it comes to the competitive games, and him having a strong camp right now, I think puts him in a beautiful position to potentially become a primary receiver on this offense, especially with the fact that we have DJ Moore gone and all that. So that's something that I want to look for. I want to see more of on in training camp, especially now that they're going to be putting the pads on. Obviously that's something that's possible, but based on how things are going right now, we'll see. So it's good to hear that in training camp, or not training camp, but in minicamp, he has shown some flashes of, coming back and stuff like that. So it's good to see that. And then there has been some other news about some guys that it's not so good. Ian Thomas, I wouldn't expect anything less. He's definitely going to be taking a back seat to Hurst. And we signed him to a 1-year extension. He just doesn't seem to be maximizing himself in the position. And I don't know if he's just not putting the work in, or he's not reading the playbook, or he's just, I hate to say it, but is he just not smart? I don't get it. Because I think he's athletic enough. But I don't know if he's going to have a chance to even stick around here much longer. I really don't. It's not good. So he's just been he's just going to be a blocking specialist at this point, unless he takes a drastic leap into this new coaching regime, and apparently, based on the last few weeks, he might be falling further down the totem pole. And Tommy Tremble is going to be right there in front of him. So, and I know it's early off-season workouts, but he's just not fitting at all. And I don't think there's any immediate pressure on Thomas losing his really spot on the roster, but just how he's involved under this new coaching regime is really unclear right now. And so, and apparently, the Panthers working out Jordan Matthews, that might not be done, adding to their options in the area of that field either. So so basically Thomas has to respond. How he responds to this in his future here, we'll see. This isn't Thomas's obviously first go around here with us and going through mini camps, training camp, and all that, and he's survived in the past, but this might not be as easy for him this time. So I'm, just be on the lookout for what Ian Thomas. Obviously, another thing is just kind of want to just talk. I mean, we've already talked about Bryce Young. All right, right. He looks good. He's poised. He's confident. He's got this swagger about him. He's left his mark in a positive way on the team. Nobody's really had a bad thing to say about this guy. His production looks very good. So things are going to get more difficult for him, though, when the pads start coming on and that humidity in Spartanburg starts kicking in. But I think he'll be ready just because of his preparation and who he is already. He's locked in right now, which is great to see. It's really, like I said, it's been refreshing for every one of us as Panther fans to have a clear and really concise course of action of what's going on here at Carolina, and especially in our quarterback position, right? And I think it definitely more importantly though for us, it seems like we might have the perfect guy in the best situation possible. And nobody, I think it will be taking anything for granted. And I think that we might have our franchise guy, who knows, but the durability talk is quieting down a little bit every day that goes on, which is good to hear and see. So I still think he needs to put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle though, but that's just me. We'll see what happens. And then last but not least, JC Horn. Unfortunately, this injury going into the season is very concerning. And he's in a walking boot thanks to an ankle and the foot complication that he suffered just during an individual workout. And now it kept him out of mandatory minicamp, and he's expected to be healed before the training camp, but we'll see. There isn't really anything going on, so it's a good thing that it's happened now. So missing practice and all that, given the Carolina Panthers transition to this 3-4 defense, really isn't ideal, but it's not the end of the world. However, to me, it definitely has my concerns of Horn's durability. He's missed a lot of football in his first 2 years, all right? And to be precise, I've looked it up. It's 18 games. So it's not hard to see why injury-prone tag is being labeled on this guy. But he's rolling with the punches, obviously after another setback, and getting himself in the right mindset is what he needs to do. I think once he gets back on the field, though, I think they need to do everything they can do to minimize him for further risk. even if that means treating him a little differently from the rest. So that's neither here nor there. So minicamp has been good for the most part, besides the injuries. Nothing but positive vibes really for this team right now, which is good to hear and see. So, man, I just walked outside to check the mail. When I went to put on my Crocs, they were melted. Temperature gauge is reading 107. Marcos Cash, I have no idea where you live, but stay indoors. That's all I got to tell you. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, same time, same place. Pound that like button as always. Check out betusa.com. And as always, guys, keep pounding. Peace.